habits that you want to get into. So, what's the game plan? What sort of course of action do you take? Well, there are a lot of ways to do it. And I think you want to go about it the right way. So, here's what I would do. So, I think firstly, what we want to do before anything else. So I was going to say, what we want to do before anything else, right, is check, not before you go into the gym, before you're starting a business, before you're meditating, before you're doing any of that. I think the most important thing is to just make sure you look presentable, reasonably well dressed, you've got basic hygiene down, you don't smell. And it might sound very obvious, but I actually think a lot of people don't live up to this. Like the vast majority of people just smell like they're just unclean. You know, don't look good, especially, well, guys more than girls, this goes to. So I think number one thing to do is to check you got that really secured. So you're showering minimum 1 time a day. I think, to be honest, preferably 2, because you're going to be exercising as well. I shower 3 times a day, most days, which is probably too much. Because I shower before I go to bed, because it cools my body down. That's, I don't think you need to do that. Just focus, I think 1 time a day, and make sure you clean yourself properly. By that, I mean shower gel, under the armpits, clean your arsehole, like, it's disgusting, I know, and, like, it's a bit weird, but just do it. Count to 3, get in there, and then what we want to do after that is your face clean. So wash your face in the shower, use some kind of face wash. It doesn't have to be the most expensive thing, and then, just buy it costs a bit more money, but I don't think it's worth being a cheapskate about it. So that's number 2. Clean your face. Then beard. If you're a guy and you have a beard and you're watching this video, to be honest, I would just get rid of it, because more time, there's some great beards out there. It's a really good part of men's fashion, but for the overwhelming majority of people, the overwhelming amount of beards don't fall into that category, and people just have them because they can't really be bothered to shave. Girls say, like, I remember this girl at university who always said, beards are like makeup for guys. Did any of her boyfriends have beards? No. So I think I've seen some beautiful beards in my time, and it's something I want to talk about in other videos in the future. But for now, save yourself the stress. Just kind of the scraggly beard around here, just not worth it. Focus on it later on down the line when you've got everything else sorted. So just shave every day, get a good razor, that's quite simple. So that's the basics. Now the reason I focus on this stuff first is because I think you need, a big thing is, like, you'll just notice the difference in how people treat you if you're clean and you look presentable. So while a lot of things in self-improvement, like going to the gym, like running a business, it requires quite a lot of time and dedication before you really get off with it. But you'll see the results almost overnight if you do these things, I promise you. People will just treat you differently. You just seem more sort of integrated into society. Then the second thing is, are you dressed well? Have you got your clothes sort of on point? Now, I know a lot of people are going to say yes, and I was one of these people in the past. By this, I don't mean are you wearing fashionable, sort of cool clothing? Because I'm sure what you think you're wearing is cool, right? But I'm not talking about style. I'm just talking about the quality of clothes. So I couldn't, it doesn't matter what kind of quality of clothes you're wearing. It doesn't matter what sort of clothes you're wearing. It doesn't matter what your style is. What just matters is what you're wearing. Quality. This is far more important. And a good way to check is to do the following thing. Is the top you're wearing right now worth more than £8? Because if it isn't, I would say you're probably not prioritising your clothes as much as you should. Sorry to sound like Andrew Tate, but let me just explain. So I used to do this. I used to go around wearing black t-shirts from like Primark that cost like £1. And I thought, what's the difference? Like it's just the same as wearing a t-shirt from anywhere else. It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. There's something about wearing something that's just a little bit more expensive that, I'm not talking about a certain brand that's associated with the clothes you're wearing or anything like that. It just looks better. There's got an air about it. There's something I can't really explain. But you want to be spending around, I would say around £8. Maybe more, maybe less. But, the top I'm wearing, like most of the tops I buy, they're about £10, and that's pretty perfect. But you could do more than that, £20. Like there's probably an upper limit, but I think you want to aim for about £8. So, anyway, what you want to do is basically, let's say you work a job. You work some kind of job, you're a student or something like that. Every time you get paid, put aside £10 of that money. Now maybe you can do more, maybe you can do less. But anyway, the money that you put aside, put that into buying new clothes. Now, don't worry about switching up your fashion. You don't want to do that. That's a mistake. It's a waste of money. All you want to do is spend more money, like buy the kind of clothes you already buy, but more expensive. So, for example, I had a hoodie that was exactly like the one I'm wearing right now that I got for about £10, second hand. I just bought this, which is exactly the same thing. It's got different prints on it, but apart from that, exactly the same thing. And you just have a different air about you. So find some way to put some money aside into doing that. I would say. So that's, and by that point, you will have, you'll have around, you'll just have a much better first impression when people meet you. And if whole life you've not been very tidy, you've not been very clean, to suddenly have that good impression will be enormous, and that will propel you into the later stages of self-improvement. So, okay, so let's say that you got that nailed. Then the second thing you want to do is, you can sort of, mash these together, because I appreciate it might take you time to get the funds to do the first thing. So maybe, while you're doing it, or maybe wait till after, it doesn't really matter. But I think the second thing to focus on would be to get your physical exercise down. Make sure you're in good shape. Now, there's a variety of things you can do for that. If you're into a certain sport, I would say, unless you've got a burning desire to play a certain amount of sport, I think the easy option is just to go to the gym. And that's for a variety of reasons. mainly, there's a gym somewhere that you can go to, or even if there isn't a gym, you can do calisthenics. And there's something very psychological about lifting weights that I think is very good for the mind, and it disciplines you. And then the other thing is, going on to what I was saying before, if you have a decent amount of muscle on you, again, people will just treat you differently. They'll respect you more. Sorry, I should check the time, guys. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. If you got burning desire to join some kind of martial arts, there's some kind of sport you really love, then and you really, really would rather do that, then go for it. But I think you will sacrifice. I think otherwise, just go to the gym. Is my bet. And you want to focus on going to the gym. Don't focus on making gains. Don't worry too much about what type of exercise routine you're doing. Just focus on getting your physical body inside a gym. So for a while, I was like, didn't really go to gym because I got very dispirited because I wasn't seeing results. I've done a lot of thinking about how I got in such a good habit now. And I wanted partly, I've just got really good motivation to improve my life. I think it's partly that, but to be honest, what I really think it is that I've just got myself into the mentality of going for the sake more than results. And once you start going every day, you learn very quickly what's a routine to do, what sort of thing works for you. And then once you've got that down, you'll just it's just clean sailing, right? You'll make gains. You understand what you're doing. Just focus on going. I think ideally you want to go 5 to 6 times a week. I find it difficult because I think if I get out of the habit of going at once, I'll fall off. So what I do is I just go every day, and if it's a rest day, I'll just do cardio or stretch or something. So yeah, that's what I do. But work out what works for you. Maybe you want to start by just going once until you get into the swing of things. But I almost think the better thing to do is just readily commit to going every day, something radical like that. Even if it's not very long, or even if you don't really know what you're doing, and gradually you gain momentum. Now this is a secondary thing because it's going to take a very long time to build certain amounts of muscle anyway. It depends on genetics, depends how much you eat, stuff like that. And then there'll be an ongoing process where you'll start developing this sort of skill. But it's going to take a long time, so that's why I put that as number 2. So at this point in your life, you're clean, your basic hygiene is down, you're well dressed when you go out, and you're exercising, which is good. So at this point in your life, it looks pretty good. Now, I would say the next stage is stuff like you want to sort of, I don't know, it depends what your ambition is in life, what do you think is missing in your life. I would say most people when they get to this point is they want to work hard at something. So that's stage 3, which I'm going to cover in another video because I've got to catch a train. But yeah, this is just the basics. I've got nailed down. This is more or less how I've done it, and I think it's extremely effective. I think it's a waste of time to do any other way. So yeah, hope you found it helpful.